A tycoon dad accidentally appointed the wrong tutor for his 17-year-old daughter, but soon he was too embarrassed to fire her because she wasn't just beautiful, she was also incredibly smart. What was the name of this tutor? You'll know her if I say that her father is Professor Stephen Hawking. That's right, this is Hawking's daughter. It all started when the famous physicist Stephen Hawking passed away in 2018. He left behind a fortune of around $450 million, most of which went to his ex-wife, his children, and his caretaker. But this money was only supposed to last Lucy, his daughter, until she graduated from university. So it would be logical to assume that she had to watch every penny, or she'd be completely broke by the time she graduated. But she had no such concerns. She was able to live like a real princess. When Lucy was born, her father, Stephen Hawking, had already been diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. In short, this meant that he would be able to work and support his family financially the way he had hoped. So her mother, Jane, who was a strong believer in equality, made sure that Lucy knew that she was just like any other child and didn't need anyone to take care of her. Jane told her she could do anything she wanted. Of course, Lucy took this to heart and always thought of herself as an ordinary girl. The problem was that people never let her live her life like one. When Lucy was just 11 years old, her father became a world-famous scientist and their home was overrun by journalists trying to get a glimpse of him. Because of this, Lucy and her siblings had to move into the college, where their father worked, so that they could be closer to their father and he could spend more time with them. However, even here, the kids were not allowed any peace. Journalists followed them everywhere, even to school. Lucy had no choice but to ask her classmates not to tell anyone that she was Stephen Hawking, his daughter, but they never listened to her. Instead, they told everyone. And before Lucy knew it, all the other students wanted to become friends with her, all because they wanted to get closer to her famous father. Because of all the stress, Lucy became very depressed and stayed in bed all day instead of going to school. Her mother found out about this and hired a private tutor for her, so that she could finish her homework at home without having to go to school. The tutor was a woman named Lisa, who had studied astrophysics in college. Even though she was only 23, she was brilliant and got along great with Lucy, who was also very smart. Lisa spent hours teaching Lucy everything she needed to know, so that she could keep up with her classmates. They talked about everything, and Lisa helped Lucy open up again. Lucy liked her so much that she asked her to come over and spend time with her, even when she was unworking. Lisa gladly accepted this invitation and soon became a regular guest at the Hawking household. At first, Stephen Hawking didn't think much of it. He was happy to see his daughter spending time with someone who was her own age. But he quickly realized that there was something going on between them, although he didn't know what it was. He often caught Lisa and Lucy hugging each other and talking in low voices. It was clear to him that this tutor was doing a fantastic job, but he still couldn't shake off the feeling that something else was happening between them. The situation became even stranger when Lucy turned 17 and her father decided to throw her a surprise party. He invited all of his friends and colleagues and booked a cruise ship for the weekend. Lucy wasn't too excited about the party, but Lisa begged her to go, promising to come with her. Of course, Lucy agreed. When the day of the party finally arrived, Lucy put on a beautiful white dress. She looked so beautiful that Lisa immediately regretted agreeing to go to the party, because now she felt as if she was competing with her student for attention. As soon as they arrived on the ship, Stephen Hawking noticed Lisa and complimented her on how beautiful she looked. He then asked her to accompany him for a walk on the deck so that they could talk without Lucy hearing them. There, he told her that he knew what she was up to with his daughter and warned her to stay away from her. Of course, Lisa was shocked. She couldn't believe that the famous Professor Stephen Hawking thought that she was after his money. She tried to explain to him that she wasn't dating his daughter, but he didn't want to listen to her. He was convinced that she was using his daughter and simply wanted to get her hands on his money. So he fired her on the spot and kicked her out of the party. Lisa was deeply hurt by this, especially because she had worked so hard to help Lucy cope with her problems. She sat down on a bench and started crying. Suddenly, Lucy came over and asked what had happened. Lisa told her everything and added that she didn't deserve a tutor like her anyway. Lucy was shocked. She couldn't believe that her father thought that Lisa was bad. She immediately ran to her father and told him that he was wrong. Then she turned around and went back to Lisa. She apologized for her father's behavior and promised to make it up to her. But Lisa didn't want anything from Lucy. All she wanted was to be her friend. And luckily, Lucy understood this and accepted her apology. From that moment on, they were best friends and did everything together. They went to parties, the cinema, and on trips. When Lucy went to college, Lisa came with her and rented a house nearby. The two of them were inseparable, but Stephen Hawking was still angry at Lisa and refused to speak to her. He didn't want to admit that he was wrong, and even when Lucy finished college and started working as a journalist, he still kept up his grudge against her. He thought that she only wanted to be close to his daughter so that she could use her fame to advance her career. But he was dead wrong. Lisa was only interested in advancing her relationship with Lucy. and nothing else mattered to her. One day, Lucy and Lisa were hanging out in the garden of their house when Lucy's father came over. He had brought them dinner because he knew that they hadn't eaten yet. Lisa was surprised that he had come over since he hadn't spoken to her for so long. She politely accepted the food and invited him in, but he refused and told them that he would eat in the garden. Lisa couldn't stand this injustice anymore. She stood up and told him that she wasn't the bad person he thought she was. She explained to him that she had only ever loved his daughter and nothing else mattered to her. Stephen Hawking looked at her and suddenly realized that he had been wrong all along. Lisa really loved his daughter and had only ever wanted to be her friend. He apologized for treating her badly and invited her inside. After she had eaten, he told her that he wanted to give her something. He took her to his study, opened a safe, and took out a check. He then wrote a large sum of money on it and handed it over to her. Lisa was shocked. She didn't want his money. She had never wanted his money, but he insisted that she'll take it, saying that it was the least he could do to make up for his mistake. In the end, she agreed and went home. She didn't know what she would do with the money, but she was sure that Lucy would be happy about it. When she told her about it, Lucy was just as shocked as Lisa had been. She could unbelieve that her father had given her friends so much money just to apologize for being mean to her. But this just goes to show that it's important not to judge others too quickly. You never know what kind of person they really are until you get to know them better. And who knows, maybe your worst enemy today will be your best friend tomorrow. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to like and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. Until next time,